Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Live at 4. It's Friday! You made it. You made it all week with me.
We all did, and we all got to yell about it. I'm very excited.
Thank you for your help this week.
Of course,
It's been really fun, and I really appreciate it. Mark will be back on Monday. Here's what's making news on this Friday. Governor Tony Evers is making history today as the first governor to approve flying the gay pride flag above the state capitol. Our Madison O'Neill will have the latest.
Today is the deadline for the Trump administration to decide whether it will impose tariffs on goods imported from Mexico. We will have the latest from the White House.
And after more than a year of controversy, Taco Bell Cantina is pouring alcoholic drinks for the first time. We'll share that story. Michael Bruno is also here, and we'll have the news hounds as well. So a busy show. Let's take a look outside today. It was a great day today, wasn't it?
It was beautiful. Look at that shot today. Over top of some ball fields, empty now.
That's at Over Park.
Yeah, probably won't be empty though, come the weekend or even tonight. The weather words, another warm day ahead. So that lake looking pretty nice right now. Dave Caulfield out on the weather patio. Dave, how's it feeling out there in that jacket, man?
It's warm, I'm telling you. I made a poor decision, but that's okay. We'll continue to have this warm weather as we head into our Saturday, and plenty of sunshine on the way for tomorrow as well. We have that sunshine with us in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. Up to 83 degrees in Madison. La Crosse once again hitting 90 right now, and 86 in Mineral Point. Maybe a little bit cooler in spots like Monroe at 82, and definitely cooler near the lake once again with temperatures in the 60s in Milwaukee. And you can see why that onshore flow bringing that cooler lake air onto the shores of Wisconsin. And your day planner for the next couple of hours in Madison, temperatures will fall into the 70s and eventually the 60s with mostly clear skies. So let's take a look at your first alert traffic update. Right now, a live look at Monona Drive and the Beltline. We are seeing some slow go eastbound right now, but nothing too bad. Nothing out of the ordinary for a Friday afternoon on the Beltline. No major accidents or incidents to report. Traffic generally heading out at the speeds you would expect for this time of day. Eastbound Verona Road to John Nolan on the Beltline. That's about 20 minutes with an average speed of around, we'll call it 15 to 20 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic update. Coming up, we will talk about when rain chances return back to southern Wisconsin.
Sounds like a little bit of a breeze out there for you too, Dave.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think the wind is telling me to hurry up with this forecast.
Get out of here. All right. Thanks so much, Dave.
Dave, thank you. First at 4, a new flag is flying over the Wisconsin Capitol for the first time in state history.
Governor Tony Evers has ordered the Rainbow Pride flag to be raised throughout Pride Month in support of the LGBTQ community. Madison O'Neill is here with what this moment really means. Maddie?
Hi there, guys. Well, onlookers tell me raising the Rainbow Pride flag this afternoon was a symbolic moment they've been waiting for a long time. The governor's office ordered the flag be flown to send the message that our state is a welcoming, inclusive place to live. Those we spoke with today say that hasn't always been the case for the LGBTQ community, but raising this flag is a meaningful step forward.
For a long time, it's been we haven't felt as welcome, but now that we've got this new administration and they've been doing a lot more to be inclusive, and I think that's really important for our community, it feels really good.
Not everyone is happy about the rainbow flag flying on the Capitol today. State Rep Scott Allen told the Associated Press that the flag advocates a lifestyle some Wisconsin residents may not condone and is therefore divisive. Now, earlier this week, the city of Madison raised a rainbow pride flag over the municipal building. Evers is authorizing other state government buildings and any jurisdiction of the state to fly the pride flag in June as well. And now the flag at the Capitol we just saw, that will be up till June 30th, so you've got plenty of time to go see it.
Very interesting. Thank you so much, Maddie.
Thank you, Maddie. In national news today, 2 Navy ships from the U.S. and Russia were involved in a near collision, with each side now blaming the other. The U.S. Navy says the 2 ships came so close together, the U.S. ship was forced to throw it in reverse and hit the gas. The USS Chancellorsville cruiser, seen on the right, came within 50 feet of a Russian destroyer on the left. U.S. officials say the Russian ship made a dangerous maneuver, forcing the cruiser to put all engines in reverse to avoid a collision. Russian officials, however, say it was the U.S. warship that instigated the incident.
Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden has now reversed his position on a long-standing law blocking federal funding for abortions. At a DNC fundraising gala Thursday, the former vice president said he can no longer support what's known as the Hyde Amendment. That decades-old law blocks federal funding for abortions, except in the cases of rape, incest, or to save a woman's life.
I can't justify leaving millions of women without access to the care they need and the ability to exercise their constitutionally protected right.
Earlier this week, Biden's campaign said the staunch Catholics supported that law, prompting a barrage of criticism from Democratic rivals. The Republican National Committee issued a statement in response to Biden's stance reversal, saying he had, quote, flipped with his embrace of the radical left complete.
From the state capitol to the nation's capital, President Trump wants Mexican leaders to take a dramatically stronger stance against immigrants coming through the country on their way to the United States.
If not, he says he will move ahead with tariffs on all goods coming across the border. Nicole Killian reports from the White House.
President Trump is keeping the pressure on Mexico as talks with the U.S. go down to the wire. He received an update on negotiations on board Air Force One and tweeted there was a good chance of reaching a deal.
He's going to put everything on the table and make a decision about next steps.
Mexico is trying to avoid a 5% tariff, which is set to begin on Monday. Today is the deadline to provide legal notice of the tariffs, but there is wiggle room.
There is the ability, if negotiations continue to go well, that the president can turn that off at some point over the weekend.
Mexico has offered some concessions. It says it's willing to post thousands of troops along its border with Guatemala and potentially overhaul its asylum policy. But the Trump administration is pushing for more.
I go into the room with the Mexicans. I'm asking them for everything. And by the way, if they don't do it, I'm putting the tariffs on. We're going to make a fortune.
Mexico is trying to demonstrate its enforcement of immigration laws. This morning, its immigration agency tweeted these photos of Honduran nationals being deported back to their home country. And this week, hundreds of law enforcement officers blocked 1,000 migrants from entering Mexico at its border with Guatemala. In Washington, Nicole Killian for News 3 Now.
If there continues to be no deal, tariffs will go up 5% each month until they reach 25% in October. Congressman Mark Pocan was back in Madison today talking tariffs.
The Madison Democrat says farmers are suffering after earlier tariffs, doing so enough, and the ones against Mexico will not help. Eric Franke joins us now with the details. Eric?
Danica and Susan, Congressman Pocan back in his home district before a busy week ahead in Washington. That includes this discussion over the tariff threat. Pocan says it is the last thing farmers need to deal with right now, more tariffs, because many are still reeling from the last round of tariffs as far as the president's aid package for farmers. And Pocan says that will give most of them just pennies on the dollar when it comes to making up the money that they lost due to the trade wars.
I ultimately think he'll find some way to make it look like what he did was masterful rather than a magic 8-ball in his head that just kind of stopped somewhere and he said whatever came up. But this is a real problem, and in Wisconsin, it's felt far more than a lot of other places, and our farmers right now are living through the last set of tariffs.
Congressman Pocan says he isn't opposed to targeted tariffs when used in the right situations, but he says the president does not have a coherent trade policy. Pocan spent a lot of time today also talking about a lot of the work that Congress needs to do in the next few days and the weeks ahead, and he's been very vocal on the impeachment discussion, saying Congress needs to find a way to compel people to talk to them. He says one way to do that is to start an impeachment inquiry. He says when former White House counsel Don McGahn refused to testify before Congress recently, that to Pocan was, quote, the straw that broke the camel's back. Susan, Danica.
Eric, thank you so much.
Madison police say reports of shots fired are down compared to this time last year. Between January and May, there have been 51 reports of shots fired in the city. That's down 42% from this time last year. So far this year, 8 people have been hit by gunfire within the city of Madison.
The UW Board of Regents has elected a new president. Regents unanimously voted for Regent Drew Peterson to take over that position. He's been the vice president of the board since 2017, while also serving as the senior vice president for corporate affairs for TDS Telecom. He's succeeding Regent John Robert Bailey, one of 3 regents Governor Evers replaced once he took office. After a long liquor license battle, the Taco Bell Cantina along State Street is officially pouring alcoholic drinks.
Now, you may remember former Mayor Paul Soglin vetoed the fast food restaurant's liquor license. Taco Bell's ownership company sued the city for being discriminatory, but that litigation ended once the license was approved by the newly elected alders and mayor. This afternoon, it started serving beer, wine, or a Twisted Freeze, which is a Taco Bell flavored frozen drink with a shot of agave wine. Samantha Pardis and her friends were first in line to order alcoholic beverages.
Actually, I don't really come to Taco Bell that often, but this definitely got me in the door, so maybe I'll come again for a happy hour.
Taco Bell management is expecting these drinks to attract more customers and increase sales. Taco Bell Cantina will have a happy hour from 2 until 5 on weekdays.
And to celebrate, any customers, by the way, that purchase drinks today will receive a free crunchy or a soft taco. A long saga coming to an end there.
That's true. Coming up next on Live at 4, we'll take you to New York City's Radio City Music Hall.
That is where the biggest stars in Broadway will hit the stage. You'll hear from host James Corden about what he's looking forward to next on Live at 4.
Well, thanks to the need to get that perfect shot for social media, some travelers are actually budgeting to bring a professional photographer along with them when they go someplace new.
Yeah, so instead of snapping selfies on their phones, some are finding photographers through services like Shoot My Travel. That site connects customers with local pros in 450 different locations who know the best spots to get a good picture for those followers.
There's so many different locations that you may not even know, that may not be on TripAdvisor or a search engine. So me being a New Yorker and being a photographer in New York, I can let them know about those locations that are not always on their radar.
Travel photography packages in places like New York City or Chicago, I checked this, Susan, they start around $200.
Interesting.
I think we feel the same way about this.
Stocks rally after jobs data, closing with a strong week despite a lackluster jobs report. The Dow gained 263 points, the Nasdaq gained 126, and the S&P 500 gained almost 30. There will be a lot of firsts at this year's Tony Awards, including the first nominee in a wheelchair and the first African-American man to be nominated for 2 acting awards in the same season.
I love the Tonys. Laura Podesta sat down with awards host James Corden about the surprises coming this Sunday night.
It's showtime. From movie adaptations to a jukebox musical, this year's Tony Awards are eclectic and competitive. The original musical Hadestown leads the pack with 14 nominations. And some familiar faces could be gracing the stage. Bryan Cranston of Breaking Bad fame is breaking news in Network and nominated for leading actor in a play. So is Adam Driver, who stars in Burn This. Annette Bening might be taking home her first Tony for her role in All My Sons. She's up against contenders like back-to-back winner Laurie Metcalf. We asked host James Corden for his prediction.
There's a play called The Ferryman, which is written by a playwright called Jez Butterworth, who I think is quite possibly the best writer alive.
Butterworth will be taking on theater darling Heidi Schreck. She both wrote and stars in What the Constitution Means to Me.
The right to brush your teeth. Yes, you've got it. But how long do we want this document to be?
Much of the show is being kept under wraps, but Corden says expect a big opening number, and he'll be singing.
A new song, an original song, you know, I don't know, it's just terrifying. It's live, you know.
Even this star gets stage fright, telling us he's looking forward to the final bow.
I'll either cry because it's gone so badly, or I'll just sort of see my wife and go, oh, we got away with it.
Tune in Sunday to see if he pulls it off. Laura Podesta, CBS News, Radio City Music Hall.
I love the big opening number.
I know.
It's great entertainment.
It's always so much fun.
And he's terrific. Corden is terrific. You can watch the Tonys right here starting at 7 o'clock on Sunday night.
We will be right back. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
All right, take a look at this. No, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. This is not some editing magic. This is a frighteningly lifelike human flesh coin purse.
Ew. Gross.
That is really gross. Japanese artist even got Bruno over there. It opens its mouth and gets even creepier. You can see the teeth and the coins inside. He also created a realistic looking finger stamp and phone case. The artist is also a DJ, by the way, Dave, but we're not sure what effect that had on his creation.
Now, what's going on here with the dismembered finger?
Do we want to know, or do we just want to move on?
Yes, let's move on, shall we?
Before the video.
Poor Dave is really creeped out. Well, here's something sweeter. It's National Donut Day today. People on Ranker.com are voting for their favorite donut flavors.
Now, what's your donut of choice? Glazed is in first place, chocolate frosted in second, and Boston cream in third. Personally, I have to go with the strawberry icing on top with some sprinkles. Yeah.
That's a different choice.
Oh, I love donuts. Donuts are like my kryptonite. If I'm ever on a diet or something,
So just don't look at the video. Don't look at the. Don't look below your chin level right now.
So we've got
Susan.
a platter you could land a small plane on here. So I'm in big trouble.
They're right outside the weather office too, and I was peering out the window, and I was like, nope, just don't look up. Just keep the eyes on the computer.
I love it good. I know Paige, my little sister, when she was little, it was a big debate in the Lewis household because if mom and dad brought home cream-filled instead of custard-filled, there would be a problem. I tell you what. So now I think she is an equal opportunist donut eater. But
oh, it's Friday and it's summer.
Yeah. Donuts all around.
See, I'm so easy on myself. I can just justify it no matter how hard I try.
Donuts all around, sunshine all around.
Yeah,
so
nice.
you may want to eat some of these donuts outside.
Why not?
Yeah, with the temperature staying in the 80s and the sunshine sticking around tomorrow. Another great day on the way for Saturday. We'll talk about this weekend's forecast coming up. Good afternoon and happy Friday. Once again, the sunshine out pretty much in full across southern Wisconsin. Temperatures making it into the lower 80s. Here's a live look in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. I'm doing a cloud scan here and I can't see any. We're just seeing lots of blue sky and sunshine. Today's high pretty similar to yesterday, 83 degrees. So we're running about 5 to 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. Don't get used to these warmer temperatures while they'll be around for tomorrow. As we get into next week, some slightly cooler weather is on the way. It seems like it's a carbon copy, this camera shot in Platteville, even though we moved quite a bit farther to the west. Now, June temperatures so far have been definitely on the warm side, except for Sunday and Monday. Over the last couple of days, we have been quite warm. In fact, about 10 degrees or our average temperature departure, +7 and +8. And I think we're going to stay warm into the next couple of days. So temperatures right now are in the low 80s and mid 80s in Madison, middle 80s in Janesville, 77 in Waukesha. Once again, cooler near Lake Michigan with that onshore flow with high pressure to our east. And we could see that onshore flow coming in from the north and east, keeping those temperatures in the 60s closer to Milwaukee. But for us, even though we have a bit of a breeze at times out of the east at about 15 miles per hour, still not really affecting our temperatures all that much. A lot to do this weekend, as is the case in many summer weekends in Madison, but the More Than Pink Walk at the Alliant Energy Center for tomorrow. To start off, we're going to be in the 50s, but quickly warming up by the time we get to about 10 a.m. We're in the lower 70s, but look at that, folks, that sunshine from start to finish. So it should be great weather for that walk tomorrow morning. High temperatures, as I mentioned, staying warm over the next couple of days. Will actually be slightly above normal on Sunday, even with the chance for showers and storms. However, as we get into next week, it looks like a cooler pattern is on the way. Now, we're not talking about anything crazy here. No 50s and 60s for highs, although we will be close to the 60s on Wednesday and Thursday. But it's still running about 5 degrees below normal as we get into next week. So we've had the high, then we're getting a little bit low as we get into next week. Don't be sad, though. We'll get those 70s and probably the 80s back by the time we get into later on in June. Tonight, mostly clear, pleasant. Temperatures are in the mid-50s. For tomorrow, mostly sunny and continued warm. I think those highs for the 4th straight day will get into the low 80s. If we do hit 80 degrees tomorrow, 4 straight days of 80s. That will be the first time in Madison since last September. So it's been a minute, as the kids say. 82 for, and we're talking about the 80s for this afternoon in Janesville. And then on Future Track, we notice the clear skies sticking around for many of us. Could have a little bit more dense fog form right near Lake Michigan, but for most of us, we're looking at mostly clear skies overnight, starting off in the mid-50s. We'll be in the 70s by the lunch hour tomorrow, with highs in the lower 80s. Then we have an upper-level low that comes in by the time we get to early on Sunday. That could bring us some clouds for sure, and also some rain showers. Not really looking at a whole lot of thunder in these rain showers, but the occasional rumble of thunder is definitely possible. We do have the chance of some additional showers as a cold front comes through later on Sunday as well. So your 7 to 10 day forecast showing that rain moving out by Monday. We're in the mid-70s for Monday and Tuesday. Could have some more showers and storms on the way for Wednesday as temperatures stay in the lower 70s for the middle of next week. By the time we get to Father's Day weekend, I think those temperatures are back into the 80s, but we could have some showers and thunderstorms right now in the forecast for Father's Day proper. Hopefully we can get that out of the forecast by the time that day gets a little bit closer.
Danica and I will be at the More Than Pink Walk bright and early tomorrow morning, and the weather looks great. Looks like they won't have any issues for all the walkers.
Yeah, that should be really fun.
Yeah, good
That's
stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave. So Chris will keep you up to date on the weekend weather on News 3 Now this morning as well.
And then on Sunday, stay tuned for CBS Sunday Morning.
Jane Pauley is with us now. Jane, we understand you have a lot coming up, as you always do on Sunday morning, including a piece with the star of a new Showtime series.
Well, yeah, good. Danica, you're right. All I have to do is say 6 degrees, and you know who I'm talking about. The ubiquitous and talented Kevin Bacon. From Animal House, Footloose, JFK, Apollo 13, the list goes on and on. And now he's starring in a new Showtime series, City on a Hill. As he told our Lee Cowan, acting was in his blood from the very beginning. Here's the clip.
Barely being able to walk, I would walk into a room and have this intense desire for people to look at me. You know, to be...
You wanted to be the center of attention.
I wanted to be the center of attention, definitely. Some actors will claim that that's not part of their DNA, and it's bull. Because you either want to be the center of attention or you just are a liar.
Hi, Danica. Kevin Bacon was still in acting school when he landed his first part in Animal House, and when he told his teacher, the guy laughed. Well, I guess Kevin Bacon has had the last laugh.
I would say so, certainly. All right, Jane, what else is going on Sunday?
Oh, well, a lot. We've got disco royalty, Gloria Gaynor. Gloria Gaynor shot to fame with I Will Survive, which might be her personal anthem, too. She'll tell us why. Also, in honor of D-Day, David Eisenhower reminisces about his grandfather, Dwight Eisenhower. And it's Tony Sunday, so we'll have some highlights from this season's Broadway hits. A lot on Sunday. See you then, Danica.
A lot of tunes, it sounds like. A lot of music going on, Jane.
I'm not going to do any singing, but if asked,
Darn, maybe
I
next
would.
time, right? All right. Well, thank you so much, Jane. We appreciate it.
Pleasure.
You're not going to get Jane singing.
No, I don't think so. I tried.
CBS Sunday Morning airs at 8 o'clock here on Channel 3. If you're looking for some air conditioning this weekend, it'll be another great weekend at the movies.
We will preview the latest movie in the X-Men franchise, Dark Phoenix. That's next. All right, what a great day to get out to the Henry Vilas Zoo. You are looking live there right now. Not sure which animals are in the shade right now, or maybe the polar bears in the pool needing a little dip, but certainly a lot of folks out there enjoying this beautiful day.
Yeah, perfect way to start the weekend.
Yeah.
The current cycle of X-Men movies comes to an explosive conclusion with a new adventure starring Game of Thrones actress Sophie Turner.
David Daniel has a preview of Dark Phoenix that opens in theaters today.
Something's happening to me. When I lose control, bad things happen. But it feels good.
An accident in space transforms the already telepathic Jean Grey into the dangerous Dark Phoenix.
Are you threatening me?
That's right.
That would be a bad idea.
Michael Fassbender has played Magneto for nearly a decade.
We're finishing off this particular cycle very strongly. I think, focusing on Jean Grey and having her story at the forefront, it's needed. It was needed. It was missing because, she is the most powerful mutant in the saga.
Longtime X-Men writer and producer Simon Kinberg makes his directorial debut with Dark Phoenix.
Stepping into the director's chair was a big challenge for me, but it was made a lot easier by the fact that I had these incredible actors that have become my family, and so it was this very familial, very supportive environment.
This is something that hasn't been done before, and all of us were waiting till the day that we saw it to see if that was accomplished, and ultimately I believe it was, so I cannot wait for the world to see this.
The X-Men fear you. And what they fear, we seek to destroy.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And our film critic Will Loper will be here on Monday with his review as well.
Yep, absolutely. So after the break, Michael Bruno is in to talk about the Jerry Awards.
It is a top honor for high school performers in our area. We'll get a sneak peek at those talented teens when Live at 4 continues.
Good afternoon and happy Friday. Here is your first alert traffic update. Taking a live look right now at Monona Drive and the Beltline. Eastbound actually not looking too bad, but there are some delays piling up westbound. And we could see there are some patches of traffic on the Beltline, and we are noticing those normal slowdowns, average speeds of around 15 to 20 miles per hour from Verona Road through Park Street. But Verona Road itself not looking too bad. Same with Stoughton Road. Traffic generally heading out at the posted speeds. Now, here are your drive times. 5 minutes from John Nolan to Verona Road. Westbound, average speed of around 50 miles per hour. University Ave to the interstate, that'll cost you 33 minutes right now with an average speed of around 30 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic update.
Thank you so much, Dave. So months after the deadliest wildfires in the state's history, Paradise, California is celebrating a new group of high school graduates. 220 seniors were back at their high school football field last night after last November's fire destroyed more than 13,000 buildings in their hometown and killed 85 people. It was the first time members of the class of 2019 have reunited since those fires. Most students were left homeless in that high school, which meant finishing their GEDs in nearby towns or online.
It teaches you that you have to work for what you want in life. And if you lose everything, you have to work for it again.
Most of the 26,000 residents of Paradise have relocated to other areas.
Oh, I bet that was very emotional.
I can only imagine.
Well, as we reported earlier, the Tony Awards will be presented this Sunday on CBS, and they honor the best of Broadway.
The same day and night here in Madison, the Jerry Awards will be presented over at the Overture Center, recognizing excellence in high school musicals in our state. Our Michael Bruno went backstage during rehearsal for the Jerrys for a preview.
You're an old pro at being on the Overture Center stage for previous awards. Tell me a little bit about what that experience is like to perform on that stage.
Oh, it's insane. My body, it just like chills all up and down my spine because there's so many people and the crowd is just so supportive in the first place because, you know, people applaud, you know, high schoolers getting up there and, you know, performing in front of a huge group of people. And the whole experience is just breathtaking.
Let them laugh in my face, I don't care, save my place. I'll be there.
The night is young, the skies are clear, and if you wanna go walking, dear, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely.
Tell me a little bit about what it's like to be on that stage.
Amazing. Looking out and the audience is just so huge and so different from every other stage I've performed on because it's just so much bigger and seeing everything is incredible.
Just look around at the world we're inheriting and think of the one we'll create. Their mistake is they got old, that is not a mistake. We'll be making no sir, we'll stay young forever. Give those kids and me the brand new century. And what happens?
To perform on the Overture stage is such a unique opportunity because if you really think about it, the chance for high school students to perform in this large of a venue is really hard to come by, and that we get to do that through the Overture Center and with the Jerry Awards. It's such a remarkable experience when you're up there and just seeing all the people out there. It's such a large venue. I've never performed somewhere so large, and you can just tell that everyone out there is so supportive of you and wants you to succeed.
I think the chord will feel natural in context when we go from one song to the next.
And talk to me a little bit about the rehearsal process for the Jerry Award. How strenuous is that? Are there any difficulties? Is it so different than rehearsing for just a regular musical?
I personally think that it's 100 times different than rehearsing for a musical, and I just feel like you have such I don't know, maybe an honor for being here. I personally feel very honored that I won the award and that I'm here rehearsing with everyone else who's won all these amazing awards. But when the rehearsal process comes, it's just different and scary. Because like for the musical, I walked into all the rehearsals knowing 90% of the cast. But coming here, you know, I don't know everybody, and so it's different, and I don't know, oh my God, are people gonna like me? Are people gonna think, holy crap, no wonder you got Festa, you're kind of annoying. But I'd never know. So I do feel that the Jury Awards rehearsals are harder, but definitely they have so much payoff, and it is so much fun.
It's a dream that's coming true when the moon says I love.
Wow, Michael is here now. Every time you do a high school show, what is the first thing we always say? I cannot believe these are high school kids.
I can't believe the talent is just amazing. They're like 40-year-old adults in these teenage bodies with these gorgeous voices.
Yeah.
They're incredibly talented. They sing, they dance, they act. They have great personalities, and they're just amazing. It's so encouraging to see these kids.
So for people who aren't familiar with the Jerry Awards, these are high school kids that are nominated for their performances in shows during the course of the year.
That's correct. And it's gotten just mushroomed into, like, you know, there's almost a couple, more than 100, I think, schools that are involved in this now.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, and they're all from all over, like southern Wisconsin for this one, and they get nominated, and then they have judges that go out and see every single high school performance. Wow. And then they put in their ballots, and then they find out who the winners are, and then they do these amazing performances, and then they do the Jerry Awards at the Overture Center every year.
What an amazing opportunity for those kids as well. I mean, it's one thing to perform in your high school auditorium. It's a whole nother, I can imagine, to perform at the Overture Center.
Oh, and that's what I'd asked them. I said, what's it like? It's got to be just, you know, amazing for them to stand on that stage, because it's just so awe-inspiring to be on that huge stage and performing for all the other people that you know are winners. So the talent in the bar is way up there.
Way high.
Wow, it's a big honor for each and every one of them. The Jerry Awards are Sunday at Overture. There are 2 shows at 3 and 7:30. Tickets are $25 each. Students are $20. And if you can't make it, you can watch a live stream from Wisconsin Public Television at WPT.org. What's coming up next week, Michael?
Next week, it's Stage Cues Queer Shorts.
Okay.
About Stonewall.
Oh, interesting.
Wow, really interesting.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Thanks,
Good
Michael.
to see you.
Right.
We'll be right back.
Weekend's off to a beautiful start.
Yeah, it really is.
And this warm weather continuing into Saturday as well. The sunshine will be with us tomorrow additionally, and right now 83 degrees with wall-to-wall sunshine. Southeast wind a little bit on the breezy side at 15 miles per hour, but very comfortable air with the dew point only in the lower 50s. Tonight will be pleasant. Any outdoor plans that you have are looking fantastic. Mostly clear skies with temperatures falling into the middle 50s. For tomorrow, starting off in the 50s for the More Than Pink walk. It should warm up pretty quickly, though, into the 70s by the end of the walk. And then temperatures should make it once again into the low 80s. First time 4 straight 80-degree days since last September.
Wow.
It's been a while.
Wow, yeah, that has been a while.
Looks good. All right, thanks, Dave.
So Monday on Live at 4, Will Loper is going to be in to review the new movie Dark Phoenix.
And nutritionist Donna Weihoffen will be here. She's featuring 3 easy-to-make fish recipes based on the Mediterranean diet. That's coming up Monday on Live at 4. Well, Lola and Louie have scoured the globe looking for animal stories while Mark relaxed on vacation.
Good for them. Here is this week's edition of the News Hounds Now Update.
It's News Hounds Now Update with Lola and Louie.
This week on the News Hounds Now Update, creating a new home for sea dragons.
A cockatoo is back home.
And the pelicans are making a splash in Wisconsin.
But first, baby white Bengal tiger cubs are introduced to the public for the first time in Austria. Meet the boys, Hector, Pasha, and Zeus, all reported in good health. They'll stay at the zoo for a year before finding new homes at other zoos. White Bengal tigers, distinguished by black stripes and white fur, are very rare in the wild, but are often bred in zoos.
A Southern California aquarium has built what is believed to be one of the world's largest habitats for the surreal and mythical sea dragons outside of Australia. The native populations there are threatened by pollution and warming oceans. The magical-looking sea dragons are cousins to sea horses and are only found in the warm waters off the southern and western coasts of Australia.
One of the largest birds in North America has again returned to northeast Wisconsin in big numbers. The American white pelican, with a 9-foot wingspan, is back nesting on the islands of the lower bay of Green Bay. 4,000 nesting pairs have been counted there. Now, the birds forage for fish just below the dam. They wait for the fish to get stunned as they go over the dam and hit the rocks below. And then it's a feeding frenzy. The pelicans first started appearing in the area in the mid-90s, and now they're apparently here to stay in the Badger State.
Finally, life is